first start big picture. What's the thing right now in personal finance that's driving you crazy the most?
Wow. Gen Z trying to buy a house. It's really tough. They have these huge increases in prices, particularly in the markets in the South where people have moved to, not from. The prices have gone up, the interest rates have gone up, and Gen Z is having a duck fit. Man, they are drama. They're having because they think it's going to be this way forever, and they think they're never going to get a house, and it's freaking them out. And they're going to get a house. It's going to be okay. Things will change, but man, it's tough out there right now for that group.
So what sort of advice?
I mean, things will change, but will it change for the better, though? That's what I want to know. And Gen Z, they do have it really tough. I'm a millennial, and I just barely got my house. I got a house last year. I'm in my late 30s. But Gen Z, if you want a house in your 20s, it's going to be pretty rough. I'm sorry, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have a job that pays well. There's not many jobs that pay well. It's going to have to be something that, like, you have to be an entrepreneur. You have to make your own money somehow. Don't depend on an employer to give you the right amount of money to afford a house. They don't care. All they care about is someone who can do the job, and that's it. For the cheapest pay. If it's not you, it's going to be someone else who can do it cheaper. Of course, Dave Ramsey says it's not forever. You know, you're going to get a house eventually. Sure. I would say that for the younger crowd watching and listening to this, be in a position where you're saving money. If you're not in a position where you can increase your savings account and save money, you're not in a good place. It's something you really need to sit down and figure out, how do I have more money in my savings? Do I need to cut on my spending? Do I need to figure out how to get a better job? Do I need a second job? There's going to be sacrifices, and there's going to be moments that suck. We've all done it. I've worked 2 jobs, one full-time, one part-time, and still went to college full-time. I can complain all I want, but it made me grow and develop into a better person.
What advice do you have for that group?
Just hold tight, hold your nose. Life is not a snapshot. Life is a film strip. And so when I was 22 years old, it was 1982. Interest rates were 17% on homes. It was crazy. It was the end of the Jimmy Carter era, right before Reagan came into office, and wow. But life's not that was not defining my whole life. It's not. You can't project that and say that's the way it always is. Life's a film strip. The only thing you're 100% sure of is things are going to change tomorrow. So you're going to be okay, Gen Z. You're going to get a house, but probably not right now. Right now you're sidelined, and it's sad.
One thing I hate about boomers complaining about back in the day, interest rates were 17%, just like you said. Yeah, but the price was different. I understand interest rates were higher, but the price of a home was a lot cheaper then. So you could still afford a house, but today with higher interest rates, plus a higher cost of a house and everything else being more expensive, it's really freaking hard. And it sucks that they have to be sidelined, and I don't want to say I get it, it's just, it's like it's unfair, but what can you do? Yeah, and it's just like I said earlier, if you're going to get yourself in a position where you can save money and keep saving money and saving a lot of money, always be saving that money, because there might be finally an opening where you can actually afford a house. Of course, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy at all. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard saving that money. Sacrifice, like I said, not going out as many restaurants, not going out with your friends as much. Probably have to take in a roommate. Just figure out ways where you can increase your savings account so you're in a position that when things get better, hopefully, like you somehow get more income, interest rates go down, something, you can finally afford a house. So do whatever you can, save that money, let it grow on its own too, especially with like 5% interest rates, or you can invest it, just something, let it grow. But right now, I know it sucks, you can't get a house right now, but again, I sound like a broken record, but be in a position where you can save money.
So what do you think in terms of timeline? Is it like 5 years away for them, 10 years away for them?
I have no idea. There's a couple things going on. We've got inventory shortages in a lot of these markets, so supply-demand is driving the price up. And we've also got these interest rates ticking up. And we've got this general malaise, this semi, bad mood in the economy. Certain areas are booming. Individuals are doing very well in some areas, but there's just not a lot of hope out there everywhere. And so I think when those 3 things start to heal, then they're going to see, we get some inventory up, we see the interest rates maybe tick back down a little bit, and people start smiling and are hopeful again and moving around out here in the economy. making decisions to purchase and to take risks again and those kinds of things instead of sitting with their bottom lip stuck out, then yeah, I think then the Gen Z is going to be freed up. But it's going to be okay. It always is.
So, I mean,
it's easy for him to say that, but when you're stuck and you're suffering and the future doesn't look so bright, it's kind of hard to keep your chin up. Don't get me wrong. It's possible, but I'm sure it's harder than previous generations. I know we can compare generation to generation, who had it harder, who had it easier. But we're here in the now. And it's what can you do in the now? And I keep advocating, save money, do what you can, get a roommate, another job, all of it. I know Dave Ramsey means one. He gives so much good advice that I've taken up myself too, especially having an emergency fund. Like, do everything you can, pay off the credit cards as fast as possible. I've been debt-free since. The only debt I have is a mortgage. That's why I've been able to accelerate financially, because I have expendable income and I just save it and invest it. And it's just like I get more, I just have more money. And like my investments, they increase over time. Therefore, I have more assets. It's like finally things are turning. I think the biggest problem about being young is how you spend your money. Because I'm guilty of this. I spent my money on dumb crap all the time. I went to the clubs, trying to impress women, bought a car I should not have got. A car that I was making $400 a month on. It was just dumb. Luxury apartments. It's when you're young and trying to fit in and attract women and stuff, you take dumb chances. But if you could just figure out to just block that out and just focus on that one goal of saving money, you will get ahead of most people. I promise you that.
What do you think is going to make it okay? Is it that the interest rates are going to come down, or the prices are going to come down, or the incomes are going to go up?
Yeah, I don't see prices coming down. Not with an inventory shortage. Generally, again, basic econ, when you've got a supply that is, you've got a demand higher than a supply, you don't see prices go down, you see prices go up. And so this inventory shortage is going to probably persist. So homeownership's a great thing. We're going to see incomes adjust. People will continue to live their lives. They'll get in a different position. They'll also adjust some of their expectations. The house they thought were going to live in 3 years ago, they may not be living in that house as their first one. They may be living a little bit further out of town where prices are a little cheaper in most markets. They may be making a decision in their career to do something completely different. But it's always been unrealistic to buy a home when you're brand new out of college in an entry-level job and you don't have any money.
That's a good point. I think just for younger people, the expectations, the immediate gratifications is probably what's frustrating everyone. Getting to be a homeowner is such a long game. And in order to achieve it, you have to do a lot of things right. Don't waste your money. Save your money. Have a good job. Have good credit. The right location. Because sometimes, like some jobs, they're cheaper the farther away you are from the city. But if your job is that close, it's like in the city, it kind of sucks. Because then you have to find maybe a condo or something that's close by that you can maybe afford. But houses get more expensive closer they are to the cities. But I know we're in this tug and pull where like people want to work remotely and be a homeowner. But like, do you want to make that hour-and-a-half commute one way twice a day? A lot of people, that's so frustrating. It adds to their daily stress, Dave Ramsey didn't give a lot of like advice for Gen Z. That's the title of this video. He's just basically said, just hang tight, things will get better. As if right? I mean, they always do, but things get really bad before they get better, right? Until you finally crawl out of it, then it gets bad again for some people. But in order to be in the right spot, what has worked time and time is that when people are greedy is where you want to be fearful. And when people are fearful is when you want to be greedy. As in right now, the economy is strangely weird, high. It's like a K shape, right? It's great for the ultra rich, but it's bad for the working class, working poor, right? Normal people, right? So kind of be a little fearful because things are getting too greedy out there, right? For all these people. There's a housing shortage, but I don't know what you want to call me strange, but I think it's artificial. And mainly because a lot of them are being bought more and more each month by investment companies. I know there's plenty of the real estate YouTubers say, oh, it's only a small fraction, but that fraction keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger to that already small supply of homes. And I know there's people who don't want to move because why would they want to give up their 2 to 3%, 4% interest rate right now for a house that costs more with a higher interest rate? So now's not the time to move. But prices of a home right now, for some reason, keep going up. Yeah, I know inventory is lower, but who the hell's buying besides these investors, right? That's what's like really strange to me because like, I don't know average everyday people who are buying right now. If you do, let me know. I know my neighborhood here in Arizona, a lot of them are Californians. So it's probably still people who are leaving from California, selling their shack for $500,000 and buying a much bigger house in Arizona or Texas or other places around the U.S. But right now, like as I mentioned, when you have all these companies being super greedy, be in a position to save your money. And then if things start crashing down and it looks like doom and gloom out there, that's when you want to buy assets because they're going to be cheap. And we're 10 years from now, those assets are going to be worth a lot of money. The stocks, maybe real estate goes down. Right now it's going to be commercial real estate is looking like it's about to bottom here soon. There's still time, but if that does crash, that's the time to buy it cheap because it will come back up. They'll figure out a way to use commercial commercial's never going away. Yeah, they made way too much commercial real estate, but eventually that commercial real estate is going to come in use. Who knows what use that it's going to be 10 years from now, but it will be more valuable in the future. And there's like 2 comments on the side. Back in the day, it took 3 times your annual income to afford a home. Today, it's 6 times. Dave is full of it. I mean, that was very general, very vague. I get that, back in the 70s, maybe 80s, it required to get a house was like 3 to 4 times your annual income, right? So let's say you were making $40,000 a year, times 3, that's $120,000. There's houses that's worth that much around that time. Decent houses, depending where you live. But now there's houses like, what is the average? Just under $450,000 a year. Say you make $50,000 a year, that's like 9 times your pay. You ain't affording that house. You're not going to afford that house at all. I don't even think you'll qualify at $70,000. So if we're talking 6 times, maybe $80,000, but there's a good chance you'll just be house poor. Like all the money you have goes to the house. You can't even save money. And one thing breaks in the house, you're screwed. You're so screwed. You're going to be in deeper debt. So this is also that reason, like if you're going to get a house, you make sure you afford it. Like no more than 1/3 of your take-home pay pays for that monthly mortgage. And you need the other 2/3 to be able to save your money, groceries, everything else is so expensive these freaking days, right? One thing that Dave's not mentioned in Gen Z should not expect their first house to be at the same lofty standard that their 50-plus-year-old parents' present home is. I don't understand that comment very well, but I'm thinking Gen Z is going to have like tiny homes while their parents or grandparents had typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Because I think, I was looking up affordable houses. They're really tiny homes. Sure, it fits people, but not a lot of people want them. And you pay a lot of money for it. And some of them you don't even own the land, so you lease the land and that lease can go up. I mean, there's so many flaws with tiny homes. I mean, I could be wrong, but you don't get a lot of space. Anyway, I think that's it for this video. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe if you made it this far into this video. Leave a comment, I do read them. And until next time, bye.